Hey, Frank, just wondering when you reviewed the game, what you thought of that starting lineup, like both defensively and offensively, and the things that stood out to you.
Yeah, as always, some good, some bad. I felt like we definitely had a tough shooting half in the first half. I think we were 2 for 14. Obviously the game feels a lot different. If we're knocking down some good looks. But we have that flexibility to be a bigger lineup, and play with size or to downsize like we did throughout the game. And there's positives and negatives to both.
Dan?
Frank, you've kind of cited effort and buy-in as reasons, maybe earlier in the year why the defense was struggling. There's been a slight uptick here over the last few weeks. Has effort and buy-in improved in your mind? Has it been just maybe greater understanding? I know it's never usually one thing, but
No, it's both. Our guys are not happy with our record and where we're at. So there is a greater sense of urgency, than we saw a few weeks ago. You hope that it's there every time we touch the floor. That's how champions behave. Hasn't always been there for us, but there definitely has been an uptick of late.
you've told us that you've challenged them on that front. I'm curious, has that challenge come from Anthony? Has it come from LeBron, Russell, the leaders on this team?
Yeah, we're all talking to each other all throughout every game and in every film session. So it's a group effort.
Bill?
Frank, how do you evaluate kind of the total package of what Taylor has brought to the table? Obviously, you have the really splashy first 3 games back, and then since then, obviously, the numbers haven't been there. How do you evaluate him in that span, and then what's the ideal kind of output look like from him once things balance out?
Yeah, well, we believe that he's going to be an above-average three-point shooter that can carry the floor spacing necessary, a great downhill attacker, and we want to groom him to be the guy that takes the best matchup defensively each game. But there is still a grooming element to this season, for him in that role. That's going to take time. But all three of those things happening at a high level, is what we're all hoping for.
Dave?
Frank, I know because of lineup injuries and stuff like that, you haven't had a ton of sample size to evaluate the team. But do you feel like you have enough conditioning and commitment to play the kind of up and down style that you guys spoke about in training camp?
Well, I don't think it was there to start the season, where it needed to be. But I think our guys have gotten better with getting their legs under them. But there's always this season. There's been a handful of guys on the floor each night, that have been out, that are fighting that battle individually, whereas the whole group is not necessarily doing it. But that's just the nature of guys being in and out of the lineup. One of the battles that we're fighting.
BT?
Frank, what gives you hope that you guys can be a good defensive team?
Well, we got a great scheme. We have a firm understanding of how to coach defense at a high level, and we have enough defensive talent to be great. If the buy-in is there, and it's going to take time for everyone to learn. The pillars of our defense. And to bring that execution at a high level. We got to make sure that the effort and commitment and buy-in is there. And if all those things happen with the group that we have, I believe we can.
LeBron was just saying that criticism and pressure are part of the job, especially I think he was applying with the Lakers.
Yep.
You've been in other coaching positions. Is the scope of the Lakers just a different sort of sensation for you from a coach's perspective?
Not really. There's going to be criticism with his job. It's something that we're all accustomed to. I've been a head coach for 10 years. I've seen it all. So, is it more national? Yes, it's more national. Is there a bigger fan base in this market in LA? Yes, there is. But it's been there for every head coach, and something I'm not unfamiliar with. So it just comes with the job.
How was Trevor's ramp-up process going? It seemed like,
Trevor.
from what we saw, he looked more participatory.
Yeah, he participated in live action for the first time in scrimmage play, And, you know, still looks like he has, you know, ways to go to get his legs under him and all those types of things. You know, it still feels a little bit weak for him, you know, but not painful, if that makes sense.
Sure.
You know, so it's gonna take time for him to, you know, to build strength in the ankle, and you know, and obviously to get his legs under him. But he participated in full scrimmage, yes.
Knowing that he, kind of just generally knowing what your schedule looks like for the next year of time, obviously you had this little sort of mini vacation. Is this a situation where you would consider, you know, maybe he gets 5 or 6 minutes in game action at times, or is it
Not yet.
Let's make sure we get everything or as much back as we can in practice scenarios?
Yeah, that's the goal. It's been such a long duration, you know, that you know, we hope to get him, you know, all the way back, if not near all the way back, you know, before we start putting him in games for small doses. You know, but we're not there yet.
Kyle's follow-up.
Just real quick, you've said consistently Kendrick is a long-term thing. Is it realistic to see him play by the end of the year, or is it?
Probably not, but there's no firm timeline on that. You know, we'll see. I would say probably not.
Just to be
calendar year.
Calendar
Calendar year.
Sorry,
Calendar year.
The
End of the month.
In 2021.
Should have said end of the month.
Got it.
Yeah.